April. In about 2 hours, the jury will return to deliberate the charges against Orleans DA Jason Williams and his former private law partner, Nicole Burdett. As we await the jury's verdict, we're getting additional insight on the case. Joining us this morning is Loyola law professor and attorney Dane Ciolino. Thank you so much for being back with us, Dane. I thought if you were joining us today, we'd be talking about the verdict. Of course, the jury is still deliberating.
They are, and they wanted to go home early yesterday, which is not a good sign for the prosecution here. You would think if they were close, they'd want to go ahead and finish their deliberations and get on with their lives. But no, they told Judge Afric yesterday they wanted to go home, and off they went. We're going to return at 8:30 this morning.
Sure, and we heard that they had one request yesterday. They asked for more copies of the indictments and jury instructions, and it does just remind you what these jurors have to consider here. These are some complicated tax issues.
They are, and we've got a jury that is looking at the law, and the biggest problem for the government in this case has always been that the government has to prove willful misconduct by these two defendants, which means that they knew the tax law and consciously decided to violate that law. We all know that the tax law is largely indecipherable for human beings, including lawyers like these people. So it's always been a tough case for the government, and this long deliberation is bearing that out.
And they are looking at 20 counts, 10 for Williams and then 10 for Burdett. That seems like it's a hard task in and of itself, because there has to be a unanimous decision here, right?
It does. Unanimous either to convict or to acquit. It's looking like the more likely result here is going to be some mixed verdict with likely some counts, if not all counts, hung. It's not a good sign really for the government at this point. Of course, anything can happen, and everyone is always trying to predict what juries are going to do. But the one thing you know for sure is if you wait, you'll know.
And what are we expecting from today? Do you think they'll get in there in a couple of hours and make a decision? Could this possibly go into tomorrow?
It could possibly go until tomorrow if the jurors think that they're close, and Judge Afric will ask them that. What's likely to happen is the Judge Afric is going to read to them what is known as a dynamite charge, which is a charge to the jurors that, look, no one's in a better position to render a verdict than you all. So go back in there and work harder and see what you can do.
All right, Dane Ciolino, thank you so much again for joining us with Insight as we continue to watch this case.
Thank you.
All right, guys, and if the jury reaches a verdict today, of course, we'll send you an alert on our app and online. We'll have live reports on this case in later newscasts.